Welcome to this bite-sized video for the Digital Business Services T-Level, where we'll explore Task 4 for the Data Technician Employer Set project. The Employer Set project consists of a series of tasks designed to assess the 5 assessment objectives shown, and this skills assessment is set and marked by NCFE. The ESP is conducted during a 2-week assessment window, which will be available during the summer and autumn terms. The tasks are designed to replicate the real-life industry experience, and we use employers and industry experts when developing the ESP to help achieve this. This video will focus on Task 4, where students will evaluate their performance on the ESP tasks, and Assessment Objective 5 is the sole objective of this task regarding the project outcome and review. Task 4 occurs during the second assessment week, and this is scheduled by you, the provider, during the window stipulated by NCFE, which can be found in our key date schedule. The session is supervised, lasting 2 hours. If students have any access arrangements or reasonable adjustments, such as additional time for the assessments, then you should apply that internally and increase the time tasked by the relevant amount. The assessment materials should only be available to students during the scheduled session, so do take account of this and ensure you have secure storage areas for students' evidence. Internet access is permitted for limited purposes, such as access to online word processing applications or other suitable software with a copy of the student's browsing history. You must ensure that privacy mode has been disabled, with policies applied to prevent students from deleting their own browsing history. If a student misses task 3, then you can rearrange a new session within the second assessment window and before the students sit task 4. Now, in this task, students can be awarded up to 8 marks for their evaluation. Depending on what the brief specifies, students will complete either an internal continued professional development form or appraisal template that will be provided. This will evaluate their decisions taken throughout the project by applying a relevant reflective model such as Gibbs. They will also be required to demonstrate their understanding of the need for further learning and development in a professional context, with language appropriate for a technical audience. Now, on screen is the highest band mark and descriptors which students need to demonstrate in their response for all 8 marks. Students will need to consider their own performance on each task, explaining the actions they took, what worked well, and what could be changed, and how that change would have impacted on their performance or the project outcome. The changes the students would make include any CPD needs, such as possible areas that they could attend training and courses on to upskill them. For this task, students will be given a template provided by NCFE to use for their reflective evaluation. Students can amend and edit this template should they wish. If students decide to create their own document, they should pay close attention to the template provided, as there may be a specific reflective model that students should be adopting. And bear in mind the model could change to a different model in future assessments. So it would be good to get students used to using different reflective approaches, or even have students design their own templates that have a CPD or appraisal designed to them. Now look at the reflective techniques used in the specification. For example, can your students use Kolb's learning cycle or Gibbs reflective cycle? Get your students to use these techniques when they are doing their placement. If they keep a reflective log, they can use this technique for each of the days they're working. Maybe speak to the employer and ask if the students can use the last 30 minutes of the day to write up their log. That way it's fresh in their mind. Clients' requirements. Can your students reflect back to the briefs given on what the employer wanted and how they have addressed this throughout the assessments? their own performance. What have the students achieved? Did it go well? If not, why? What was the most challenging and how did they overcome this? Processes used. What processes have they used throughout? Did this work as expected? What tools did they use? Why did they use them? What techniques did they use? Would they change anything if they did it again? And the key outcome, did they meet the brief? How well did they do this? Were they happy with their own performance? This is a chance to look at what went well, what could have gone better, what would they have changed. They should also consider their CPD and how they make sure they keep their skills and knowledge updated. Again, the placement lets them look at this and consider what other technical qualifications would be good to undertake once they've completed the T-level. We hope you found this useful and have a better understanding of Task 4, and do see our other bite-sized videos that form part of this Employer Set project series. Thank you.